Newcastle against Villa is off. Everyone's panicking. Ah! What's up, guys? Welcome back to Simply FPL. I was only joking. Not about the game being off. That Aston Villa versus Newcastle game is definitely off, but about panicking. This video has been made pretty much just to make people calm down a bit, because I've noticed that Twitter has exploded again. Everyone's panicking about what to do with all of their players. So what we're going to do over the next 5 or 6 minutes is just chat about the reasons why I don't think you should really do anything. So here are some of the reasons, and we'll go into them in a bit more detail, but in essence, it's just one game. Now, look, we obviously want to keep an eye on it over the next few days to see if Newcastle actually end up having a second game cancelled, in which case that might change our opinion on what to do with their players. But I think for the bulk of people that are looking at their team and not knowing what to do, Aston Villa players is the problem. Those are the lads that a lot of people have trebled up on. I myself have 2 of them. But when we're thinking about Aston Villa, it's really just going to be one game. So is it really worth making transfers for one game? Kind of moves on to the third point there about a points hit. If it is just for one game and you move a player out of your team, like, you might take a 4-point hit there, and in which case they're going to need to get either an attack in return or a clean sheet if it's a goalkeeper or a defender. So, like, is it like just to break even, they need to have that sort of return? So I'm not sure that that's necessarily the best thing to be doing. Similar with the value loss. So look, a lot of us got Martinez or Grealish in a price which was much cheaper. So I know myself, obviously I have Martinez, who's gone up by 0.4 million since I got him. Like, if I get rid of him now, like, I'm perfectly happy having him as a keeper. So do I really want to lose 0.2 million for swapping him out, as well as a points loss? So you really need to factor in whether or not you can absorb that loss. I think a lot of what happens towards the end of fantasy football, at the end, when you get to like the game week 30 onwards, you'll notice the teams with the most value are really doing, like, generally doing the best. So is it really worth giving up like 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 million value just for one game? So I don't think it is. Similar to that, it's going to mess with your plans. So if, like me, you kind of plan things out 3 or 4 games in advance, having to change one of your key players, for instance, me, it'd be Martinez, like, that's not a transfer I've got factored in. So if I make that transfer, it'll make a small problem. Now I won't be able to make another transfer, which is what my initial plan was. But if you're looking to take out a Jack Grealish, for instance, like, that's quite an important midfielder that you've not necessarily planned to take out. So do you have to take out like another midfielder just to kind of help swap him out? So yeah, that's another thing you want to kind of look for, like making a quick swap. And again, we'll go through the players that you could potentially swap to in a moment. But if you are going to do that, you're going to have to work out if that's going to affect your plans kind of moving forward. Finally, and most importantly, so the double game week. So Aston Villa already have a double game week planned for around game week 17, I think. Like, they're going to have now another double game week. We might even see our first ever triple game week. So if you take these players out, I think you're probably going to have to put them back in eventually. So is it maybe just worth leaving them on the bench and absorbing just one match where you won't get as many points? So that's my opinion on it. And those are probably the 5 reasons I'm not going to swap either of my Villa players. And as I say, I won't have a goalkeeper now this week, but I still think that's better than making a sub. So I'll be playing with a maximum of 10 men, and I'm perfectly happy with that. But if you don't think that it's a small deal and you do need to make those subs, let's have a look at who I think you should potentially consider swapping people to. So first of all, Aston Villa. I've only included players that are owned by more than 10% of teams. So it's actually just Grealish, Martinez, and Mings. So as you can see there, Grealish and Martinez are the bulk of the ownership. I think Grealish for me is quite an easy swap. If you want to swap him to Jota, it's around the same price. In fact, Jota's a bit cheaper. Jota's obviously the man in form. 5 goals in 482 minutes, so just over 5 games. He's an absolute bargain, and I think most people are probably trying to bring him in anyway. So if he keeps his spot, it could be a perfect transfer out. Now, Personally, I think if I had Grealish, for the reasons I just mentioned, I really wouldn't be looking to move him on just for the one game. But if you've decided you have to move him on, probably going for Jota. Martinez, again, if I was going to make the sub, which I'm not, I'd be swapping him for McCarthy. So Southampton have the second best fixtures over the next 6 game weeks. Just looking at their fixtures, they've got Brighton, Sheffield United for the next 2. Then they've got Arsenal away, which again, like Arsenal are playing terribly, before having City at home and then Fulham and West Ham. So look, they've got 1 or 2 tricky fixtures, but compared to other teams, they've got, as I say, the second easiest fixtures behind City. So yeah, McCarthy's the easy one for me. He's already got 4 clean sheets this season, 5 bonus points as well in those games, and Southampton look quite good. So look, if you have a spare transfer and you don't have it kind of going anywhere else, you might consider putting McCarthy in. Mings then. So I'm going by the same logic that Southampton are playing well and have good fixtures. I'd probably swap him for Walker-Peters. To be honest, it could be Vestergaard or Bederick as well. So any of those 3 I think are really great value, and that's who I consider swapping Mings for if that's who I had. So looking at Newcastle then, it's quite an easy one. Like Wilson is the only one of their players that is owned by more than 10%. Almost all their other players are owned by like 1% and 2%. So I doubt many people are watching this with 2 or 3 Newcastle players. And that's really why I don't think you should panic, because Newcastle are the team that could miss more than 1 game, not Aston Villa. Newcastle was the problem. So if you have Wilson, you might consider swapping him out to one of these 3 lads. But also you might consider just holding on to him, put him on the bench. He's not a very expensive asset. Most people, if they've got Wilson, have another player they can play instead of him, and then just look forward to the double game week, because obviously he's going to be in everyone's team when the double game week happens. But if we're going to swap him, we're going to go for Bamford first of all. Look, he's the form player, most chances created, one of the highest XGIs in the game, almost 8 expected goals and assists. Quite phenomenal how he's got along this season. Now, it does help with the fact that Leeds are obviously playing quite attacking. They're creating so many chances. So if I had Wilson and was going to make a sub, Bamford would be the guy. If I already had Bamford, Adams. Look, there's a lot of Southampton players in this video for a reason. They're playing well. They've got the easiest fixtures on paper. And yeah, Adams has just looked so good this season. He's great value. He's the main man while Ings was out. So, yeah, he'd be next in the list. And then finally, Wood. So, I know quite a lot of people actually own Bamford and Adams. So, Wood is not a hugely owned asset. Burnley actually have okay fixtures. So, their next 5 fixtures are grey fixtures. So, they've got Everton, Arsenal, Villa, Wolves, Leeds. That's actually 4 of those teams are leaking goals. So, having Chris Wood up top. And then Sheffield United is the 6th fixture there as well at home. So, you might consider Wood as a short to medium term replacement. So yeah, those are the 3 strikers I'd be looking to bring in for Wilson. So look, that's probably the quickest video I've ever done. The main part of the video was, look, Aston Villa Newcastle's off. I really don't think you should panic about it. But if you are going to make some subs, those are the subs we'll go with. So yeah, we'll see you in a day or 2 for the team reveal. And best of luck with the decisions.